Hello, everyone. Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography Podcast. Today, my guest is Vanessa Rempel. She is the host and founder of Her Stories Co. How are you doing today, Vanessa?
Hi, I'm great. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. How's your day going so far?
Busy. I have 3 kids, 2 dogs, so homeschooling work. So it's always a very busy day over here.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
I thrive in the chaos, I think.
yeah, there you go. How are you able to get anything done with 3 kids and 2 dogs running around the house?
Honestly, it's a complete juggling act. But the kids, I feel like they get it. I've always been working and doing many things at one time and wearing many hats. So I feel like they kind of get the vibe now. We all just do our best together.
How old are your kids?
I have a 4-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 10-year-old.
Oh, wow.
I'm in the thick of it. And 2 one-year-old dogs. So.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's for sure.
It's good, though.
So you were one part half of a mom vlogging duo, Vanessa and Melissa. Can you explain a bit about what that was all about and how long that went on for?
Yeah, sure. So when I first became a mother, I was like many women, completely obsessed with my child. And there were so many things that I was learning and so many things that I didn't know. And I just found there was not a lot of information out there, not a lot of things connecting moms at the time I had my first child, which was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I started sharing my experiences via a blog on my own. And then I had moved away from Toronto, just outside of Toronto with my husband, to a new community. And I had no connections as a mom, and it was really isolating. And just randomly, I had a background in film and TV, just to kind of
Okay.
I went to film school. So I always wanted to work in film and TV. I worked in the advertising side for a long time. So anyhow, I moved to this smaller community, and I heard this ad for Rogers, like you could create your own show, pitch us a show concept. And I'm like, why is there not a show about parenting and mom life? And I just felt so disconnected. So I sat down and created a pitch for a show about mom life and parenting and all the things that we deal with, but nobody talks about. I mean, things like postpartum depression, breastfeeding, all the stuff that I was dealing with on a daily basis, but felt like there was nothing out there for me. And they loved it. And I pitched them, they greenlit the idea. And then at that time, there was somebody else who was also interested in doing a parenting show. We went on a coffee date.
Yeah.
It was like a mom blind date. And we really connected. She was great. And we just went for it together. And to be honest with you, it started with this local Rogers show, a parenting show.
Okay.
It started off called Diapers and Lip Gloss. And then it evolved because Diapers and Lip Gloss. Because we wanted to keep our female side, we still had our stuff, but we were also moms.
Absolutely.
And then social media started to become a thing, right? Like Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. So our lives on social media as Diapers and Lip Gloss, which turned into Vanessa and Melissa, took off.
Wow.
And the Rogers show was great, but we got such a massive audience on our own on social media. So we started doing blogs, and we started working with brands across North America and talking about their products and trying their products. And it just kind of went from there. So
it really blew up. Like you had quite the reach then.
Yeah, it was big. We were considered like one of the first, among the first top Canadian parenting bloggers.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
We had a good run. It was almost 5 years, 4.5 years.
Holy. And so can I ask what happened, why that dissolved or why that stopped?
Yeah, sure. So I did actually move. Like we lived quite close to each other, and my husband's career has taken us many places, hoping this is the last stop. So I did move physically, although we continued on for a good 1.5 years and did a lot of driving. But our lives, to be honest, just started to go different ways. She ended up leaving her husband, and so she was kind of on a different path. I was on a different path, and it just ended. I don't know. It's kind of like how a marriage ends, I guess, in some ways. It kind of felt like that for me, to be honest. So
just kind of go your separate ways.
Yeah. And she's still doing her thing. I'm doing mine. So it's all good.
But it was enjoyable. It was fun while it lasted. And
We definitely had great times.
On to bigger and better things. Now, I'm assuming that most, if not all, the content just came from your personal experiences, the two of you as moms?
Yeah.
Or was there other input from other sources?
No, it was all of us it was the two of us sharing like exactly what we were going through in our dating lives.
I love it.
Candid and very honest about it.
I love it. Yeah. So when you say you guys just blew up on social media, once social media came into the picture and you guys got your footing there and it just kind of took off, did the Rogers show still continue while you guys were blowing up on social media, or did that stop?
We actually continued with the Rogers show. We did it for, I'm going to say 3 seasons because we enjoyed it. And we were able to really focus on, you know, we were able to interview a lot of people, which we really liked. And they helped us with the editing and stuff. But it just became too overwhelming. Like we couldn't partner with all the brands that we wanted to partner with, plus do the Rogers show, plus be good moms. It was like, okay, something's got to give here. And so eventually it was the Rogers show.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you shocked by the reaction or the pickup of it on social media? Like how big it got? Were you shocked by that?
I mean, it was great that we did well, but I wasn't shocked because I knew that this was something that was so lacking for so long, and like just moms being judged and feeling disconnected and like, no, I wasn't, because it was so needed. And today now it's massive. Like the mom influence market is enormous.
Awesome. That's great. And you guys were at the forefront of it.
Yeah, we were. It was a great experience.
That's got to make you feel pretty good that you guys kind of pushed, or I don't know if we could say started that whole movement, but I think that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, there are definitely other moms who started around the same time who got even enormously successful from it and who've really paved the way as well. So, but to be a part of that movement, yes, it was rewarding for sure.
Now, you are the founder and host of a new thing, Her Stories Co. Can you tell us a bit about that, what that's all about and how that came about?
Yeah, that came because I think I've always had the desire in me to feel connected to other women, whether it's parenting or not,
right?
And empowering other women. And so I had a bit of a void after Melissa and I kind of went our ways, but I always had this thing inside of me about like how, like connecting women, uplifting women, supporting women, because for a long time I felt like I didn't have that myself. Mm-hmm. And so I think this is kind of like the natural progression to Her Stories, like sharing your story. The more we talk, the more we share, the less shame, the more acceptance. And also educating people to other people's stories and other ways of life. Like it was something that's always lived inside of me. I grew up with a lot of adversity, and I feel like this is kind of where I'm supposed to be, is sharing these stories, sharing my story to connect other women.
That's awesome. Now, did you come up with the name for this?
I did. Yeah.
And where did that name come from?
I just think like it was always like her story, like sharing her stories. Like, I don't know. I just kind of, my sister and I have talked a lot about this as well. I guess I should give my sister a bit of credit because we had talked about this title and sharing stories and doing something that was valuable and meaningful. And, I think I'd say my sister kind of helped me with it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the show can be seen on Rogers TV. Do you have complete control over the content that gets shown and gets discussed, or?
Yes. Yeah. When you have a show there as like a community producer, you do it all. I mean, they edit it and broadcast it and promote it. But as far as content goes, it's all stuff that I've created.
Now, how often is the show aired?
It's aired several times throughout the week on Rogers TV London and also online, so you can get it across Canada or internationally.
Okay.
And then, we were filming, I guess, 4 times a month, but now it's on hiatus due to everything that's going on. But I do, on my own channel, social media, I do a Her Stories live twice a week.
Oh, okay. Great.
Yeah, so every Wednesday and Fridays at 11:30, I interview a different woman.
Awesome.
Which is amazing. Yeah, it's amazing what you can do, even when you're in challenging situations.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
about that
is an incredible thing. It allows us to stay connected even in times like this, right?
Really, it does. Yeah.
So how long has Her Stories been in existence now?
I'm going to say almost a year.
Almost a year, right?
Yeah.
So what happened? You had alluded to the fact that you went to film school. Mm-hmm. What happened with that whole thing? How come you didn't follow that path or get into that area of your career?
Right. So my entire life wanted to be an actress. That's all I ever wanted to do. And like my mom was a director and I grew up around that scene in Toronto and that's all I ever wanted to do. But I had mentioned before that I had a lot of adversity as a child. And I had a lot of struggle in my life. And so when I finally completed film school, I found the struggle of an actor's life really hard. And I just was watching all of my friends go to university and get these great jobs and become financially successful. And I was, serving, waiting tables, going back and forth from LA to auditions and showcases. And I just felt like it was such a struggle. Like it felt like I had no control over my career. And I'm sure a lot of actors feel like that.
Right.
And they persevere. But for me, I had just had enough struggle already. And I was like, you know what? I need something more stable. This is not, I gave up. If I'm honest, I kind of gave up on that dream because it felt tough, too tough after what I've been through. And so I went into advertising sales in media. I always worked in media and ad sales, publishing, and I stayed in the industry like different ways. So I worked for like a publication about commercial production, and I found my way to kind of fulfill that. I went to Cannes Film Festival. Like I was able to do it in the business side.
Yeah.
And then when I started doing the mommy vlogging and the stuff I do now, to be honest with you, I feel like I've really created that outlet for myself again. Mm-hmm. Because in addition to her stories, like I have, pretty strong following on a platform called TikTok, and I'm able to use still those like the acting chops that I developed years ago. So to be honest, I feel like I have found a way to really tap into all that and an outlet later in life.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, do you find that your personal struggles you mentioned that you went through earlier in life have kind of fed into and inspired what you do now with her stories?
Absolutely. Honestly, yeah, I really do. I think back to like my teenage years and just how miserable I was and like how alone I felt. And yeah, I feel like the content I put out there and the content I share, my absolute goal is to make people realize that like you can get through anything. Like tomorrow will be better. Don't give up. Like we all have had our pain and our struggles. And yes, I'm always looking to inspire and connect with young women, I mean, anybody, but I specifically feel that connection to women because, I'm a woman and because of what I went through when I was younger, 100%.
Right. Now, how do you decide upon the stories and journeys or guests' stories that you share on the show? Because I'm sure you get inundated with, because you have a big following, I'm sure you get inundated with women sending you their stories wanting to be part of what you've created. So how do you decide what goes and what doesn't?
To be honest with you, I never, like, there's a backlog right now. That has been the hardest part, is keeping up with those stories because I do a lot on my own.
Right.
Plus all the other stuff I do. But I wouldn't say there's never a story that I think, oh, I can't share that, or that's not good enough, or that's not, sad enough. I feel like everybody's story deserves to be told. However, I have had people reach out to me who I can tell they're still in the darker part of their story. And I sometimes think it's better to wait until you're on the other side to tell the story, because it can be kind of dangerous for some people to share about, addictions and abuse when they're in the middle of it. So I've had to be really careful about that, because I've received so many stories about that, and like people who are in the middle of it. And my reaction is always like, seek the help you need now and get through it, and then come back. Like, because that's, to me, is kind of dangerous. So I just kind of, I've never said no because the story I didn't think is interesting enough. I think everybody's interesting. Yeah.
Now, as you've just said, you get tons of stories and some pretty heavy ones. How do you as a host, and you as a woman as well, how do you deal with and compartmentalize that kind of stuff where it doesn't affect you because what you're reading could be so horrific and so terrible, you feel so bad? How do you deal with that as a show host and just as a woman in general? hearing other women's stories that are just heartbreaking.
You know what? I'm a bit of an empath, so it's so hard. It affects me.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't say I'm great at compartmentalizing. That is definitely something I need to work on. They all affect me.
That's got to be hard, especially being the host of a show like you are.
Yeah. I just find every woman I meet, I feel so touched by it. The thing is, too, the women who I interview have come out the other side, right? So as much as their stories break my heart and like are just like incredible, but they're also so inspiring. And like I always leave Rogers feeling absolutely exhausted because it's such a journey, like exhausted. Sure. But also I feel such a light because it's so amazing the women who I get to meet and it's such an honor to talk with them and listen to them and learn from them. And like, it's just a gift. So.
Now, why specifically did you choose empowering women as your niche? I know you went through your struggles, but what other reasons are behind that for going from the mom vlog to helping women feel empowered? I mean, yes, you were helping mothers feel empowered and giving tips and information and sharing, but why empowering women specifically?
I was very inspired by my own mother growing up and by the women she surrounded herself with. I am so inspired by like my sisters and the success they've created with their lives, my girlfriends. I'm a real woman lover. I love men too. They're great, but I have to say I find women incredible. And I mean, I have a son too. I think men are amazing too. My husband's fantastic, but I just have this connection to, women and pushing women further. And I think we've had the short end of the stick for a long, long time. And
for sure.
I want to be a part of supporting all women, lifting women up. I didn't feel like I had that for a long time in my life. And like, it matters to me so much how other women feel around me, supporting women, young girls, teens. I just think it's really important. And it's like one of the foundations of who I am.
Well, I think it has to start at a young age too. We have to start, especially with women, with young girls, we have to start at a young age teaching them that they don't need to depend on anybody but themselves, and that they don't need a man, and that they can achieve and do anything they want in life. And that has to start at a young age, because that way it gets ingrained into their way of thinking. I don't think, I'm just thinking about the education system currently, and there is nowhere near anything or enough that teaches the kids about this kind of stuff, which I think is more important than half the stuff they teach in the schools nowadays. I
agree. Self-worth is everything. It's so big. And I think going back to what inspires me is my mother, who had a great career in the 80s, which was, not always easy for women. She had three daughters, had a fantastic career in the arts in Toronto, and had a husband, my father, who was just a monster and couldn't get out, was so trapped in an awful marriage, struggled with him. I just think it was like society was against her and all the things that she was trying to do. Mm-hmm. And I remember seeing that. I remember thinking why can't you just do this? Why can't you just do that? And it being so hard for her, the way the court system was designed with separation and custody. And it was such a battle for her, everything. Yeah. And I, in my head, remember thinking how wrong all this was. And so I think that fuels it too.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned you have one boy, and so you have two girls.
Yeah.
So what does the word empowerment mean to you, and how do you teach all three of your kids about empowerment? How do you empower them to feel empowered? The boy as well, of course.
Yeah, of course. And I think they're all my massive projects of being these three amazing people who are going to be such, do great things on this planet, be so good to other people. I think about it constantly and every day, and just, accepting each other for who you are, loving yourself for who you are, believing in all your dreams, that anything is possible. My mother instilled that in me, and I want my kids to feel that, you can do anything. There's nothing you can't do if you're going to work hard. I mean, you got to work hard, but anything in this life is possible for anyone. It's actually a pretty incredible idea and thought. And I definitely am raising my kids like that, and just accepting themselves for who they are and being their best.
Awesome. Now, you had mentioned about sorry, lost my train of thought there. You mentioned about building women up and helping women succeed and so on. Now, I've got to ask you, because I came from a corporate background. I saw a lot of competition among women and tearing women down, women tearing other women down in order to succeed. What are your feelings on that? I mean, I personally would think that women would be more supportive of each other because of what you had mentioned about getting the short end of the stick for so damn long in the world of business and corporate and just in life in general, where men always dominated everything. And now to see women tearing each other down and not building each other up when a woman succeeds, I can't wrap my head around why. It just blows my mind.
You know, I agree. I do feel that it's shifting, though. I think that we're really trying to keep educating and putting the message out there. Like, we don't need to compete, like community over competition. You don't have to, by ripping someone apart is not going to elevate you. Like, we are so much stronger together as a group. And the thing is, every single woman, especially in the arts and every area, no one is going to have exactly what you have to offer. And it's just, people need to realize that. I definitely think, especially when I first started out even in the mommy vlogging world, there was a lot of competition and it wasn't always pretty. And I saw sides of that. These are moms. I mean, look at dance moms. You hear about it all the time.
Oh, yes. I've heard dance moms.
Yeah,
pretty bad.
I don't know. I feel like it's getting better. I don't know why women are we've been so hard on each other because we're so hard on ourselves, because society puts so much pressure on us to be everything, to be the best mom, to be successful, to look a certain way. And I think there's a lot of us trying to smash that mold right now and really lift each other up. And I just think the more of us who do it, the better it gets. Absolutely.
Now, speaking of empowerment, of course, do you think, the media plays a huge role in dictating to the public on what the ideal or perfect woman and man should look like and how they should be and how they should act. With the whole empowerment thing, do you think that the media and we as well as people have kind of bastardized that whole women's empowerment thing and taken away from what the true meaning of that statement or of that movement is?
I don't think so. I think I think the more we focus on it, the more we talk about it, the better, no, I think it needs to be out there constantly. And I think that, do you mean it specifically with the Me Too movement or?
No, I think just, maybe I used the wrong word, but maybe watered it down, taken away from the true meaning of it, where people are just using it because it's the in thing to do.
It's like how organic. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe. I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't really care and use it anyway and are like, I'm going to ride this wave because it's popular. But I also think that people are so intelligent and you can smell a fake a mile away. They don't go far, generally speaking, right? If someone truly doesn't believe what they're doing or they're not passionate behind it, it doesn't usually go that far.
Well, and it comes through. I think people can smell bullshit, right? Like you said, you can smell a fake.
Yeah, and I'm also a huge believer in karma, massively. I do think that intention in life is everything, and whether people see it or not, the universe does. Intention defines everything and who you are. And if your intention isn't what you're saying it is, it will be seen eventually.
Yeah, it'll come through.
Yeah.
What do you think your unique skill set or superpower is that has helped you become successful?
I think I really know how to connect with people, and I truly enjoy connecting and listening and learning. And I think I connect. I think I know how to connect and I enjoy connecting. And I feel like that really, people feel it when I'm with them. And it sometimes feels exhausting for me, but it's also what I love and what totally fills my bucket.
Genuine.
Yeah.
To date, what would you say is your biggest high or your greatest win?
Oh gosh, it's not a business thing. It'd be my 3 kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're the best things I've ever done.
I think most mothers would say that.
I know it's the hardest job. Honestly, it's
for sure
so much in me. They're amazing.
Well, that's the thing, right? Is women are told that they can't have it all, and no, you can't have the kids, the house, and the career. You've got to choose, and that's complete bullshit. There's so many women out there doing it all, and I think it's incredible, and it should be applauded and noticed and reward. Like, just I'm in awe. Women are incredible beings, and it's just mind-boggling that they've been held down and put down for so long.
Yeah.
I mean, even still in 2020, it's still happening, even in the corporate world, where women aren't holding positions in the C-suite level. And I mean, come on, this is 2020. What the hell is wrong with this world?
But here's the crazy thing. Going back to real female empowerment and supporting each other, there's still so much shame and judgment from other women about doing it all. And that's part of the issue. Like, there are a lot of, and
is it really?
Oh my gosh. I respect all moms. If you want to stay home and you have the ability to stay home and raise your kids, that is very fortunate and amazing. If you want to go to work and be a working out of the home mom, amazing. If you want to be an in the home working stay at home mom, amazing. It should all be accepted. It's not. There's a lot of judgment out there from many people about, like, oh, you should be with your kids. Why are you working while your kids are at home?
Mostly coming from women?
From all angles, I think. Men, women, grandparents. It's like women need to be supported in whatever choice they make, as long as it works for them and their family, right?
For sure.
So me working 4 or 5 hours a day when my kids are running around me, like, that's the way my life is now, and that's just what it is. But there's a lot of judgment around that stuff, and that just in general, the judgment around what women's choices are. I don't see a lot of people judging men's choices. I don't see them judging my husband going to work all day. I don't see anyone judging men doing a boys' weekend. It's just, there's still a lot of that judgment that needs to be worked on. But
that's, I mean, the fact that narrative is still there in 2020. I mean, my mom, when I was being raised as a kid, I was basically raised by my mom and my grandmother.
Brad, that makes a lot of sense right now to me.
What's that?
I said it makes a lot of sense then.
My mom stayed home with us when we were kids, and when my mom left my dad, I think I was about 10 when she left. Yeah. But he was never really around, even when she was raising me from the age of when I was born till I was 10 when she left him. But when my mom left him at 10, she had to go out and get a part-time job to help support us. Well, when she was at work, my grandmother would watch us and take care of us. And so that whole mentality that women, that was back in the 70s and 80s, where women were supposed to stay home with the kids, and that's just how it was. But I'm now to hear this, that women get flack for wanting to stay home and raise their kid. Well, that's their choice. That's their option.
I'm not saying all people judge, but there is a lot of judgment out there, especially on social media. There can be a lot of judgment. But I think, Brad, clearly from what you experienced, you are a more evolved and open mind, right? I would think. Do you see your dad? Like, did you have a relationship with him?
No. Once my parents, I haven't seen my dad since I was 12 years old.
Wow. A similar situation for me.
And whatever, it is what it is. It doesn't, I was raised by 2 very strong women. So I see women as very strong figures. That's just because of my experiences. And I was talking with someone about how you still see those memes and stuff on the internet where a man's sitting in his chair and the wife is fetching his slippers and his pipe. And it's like, you know what? I never even saw that. Now, those were from the 70s and 80s. I never even saw that shit then. Because I didn't experience it. That's not what life was for me. I saw women as strong back then even. So
what an amazing example you grew up with. And I also married a man similar who grew up with a very 50-50 marriage situation. There was no getting your slippers or anything. And like, thank God, I don't think I'd survive with someone like that. Like, my God.
I don't think a lot of women would survive with someone like that. No, and they shouldn't have to.
No, we need to raise all of our kids, boys and girls, with equal relationships.
Absolutely, 100%. So let's go down a not so serious path here. I got a few whimsical different questions for you. What sound or noise do you absolutely love?
Laughter. Yeah.
What is something you failed at?
Oh God, I failed at a lot of things. But I look at failure as, turns into success in other ways. So I definitely failed at being an actor in my 20s. Mm-hmm. Definitely failed at that.
Yeah. Okay. What is a passion of yours that you rarely share with people, and why not?
I share everything pretty much online.
You're an open book?
I'm an open book, honestly. Yeah.
Okay.
My poor husband, the neighbors know everything about me.
Well, I think in a way that's good because it lets people know where they stand. Yeah. There's no bullshit, right?
Yeah.
What is your favorite word or one of your favorite words?
Happy, love, fun. Those would be my favorite words.
Okay. What's your favorite curse word?
Can I say it? Or?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, fuck. I say fuck a lot. Bad.
That's your go-to?
That's my go-to. Fucking hell.
What makes you feel inspired or like your best self?
Connection.
Mm-hmm. What makes you... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say when I feel connected.
Yeah. What makes you smile?
When I see, when my family's together and everyone's happy and no one's fighting.
Yeah, that's always good. Yeah. No one's fighting, when there's no arguing, and especially when the kids aren't fighting with each other.
Especially when they're not fighting, yeah.
How would you like to be remembered?
As a good person, as someone who did her best.
What's something people seem to misunderstand about you?
Misunderstand about me. I think that some people can misinterpret ambition for something negative.
Yeah, I think that can. I think ambition can be interpreted as being cocky.
Cocky or greedy.
Yeah.
Or overly confident.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Because I think I'm highly ambitious, and sometimes people don't, until they meet me, sometimes they get a different perspective on me.
I don't know. Ambition is great. Everybody should be ambitious.
No, I agree. But it can be threatening, right? Sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. Can you share a situation that's occurred in your life that you feel provides insight as to who Vanessa is, who you are?
One particular situation?
Yeah. Or a couple.
I think I definitely, speaking about ambition, I actually remember meeting someone who I'm friends with now, but at an expo, and they were a vendor at the expo, and it was this big parenting event. And I walked up to her and I introduced myself because we were friends online. She's like, "Oh my gosh, you're so much nicer than I thought you would be in person." And she's like, "You actually are nice." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, what?"
Wow.
I think because sometimes I can come across as being loud and sometimes aggressive, anyhow, it was interesting. I'm like, okay.
That must have taken you aback.
A little bit. She's like, I think it was more that she meant because I seemed really confident on my stuff sometimes, that she wasn't sure if I would be really nice.
Right.
I don't know. I just remember that moment. Those moments you never forget. I'm like, that was one of them.
For sure. What would you say is the best advice you've ever received?
Best advice. Don't give up. I know, and also don't ever give up on your dreams, because they can happen at any time in your life. So never give up on what you truly love and are passionate about, because that is what will ride your life. But also, one of the best pieces of advice that someone gave me about parenting and marriage, and manage your expectations, because I have big expectations of things sometimes, and sometimes those expectations aren't fair for other people.
Right. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like, as in parenting, I really went into motherhood being like, I am going to have like a Disney life with my family. Life I never had. We're all going to love each other so much, which we do, but like, it's going to be so fun and peaceful, and it's going to be love. And, like, family's tough. It's hard being a mom. It's a roller coaster. But because I came from such a crazy, like, kind of miserable childhood, I was like, mine's going to be perfect. And it's just manage your expectations, because it's not always perfect. It's perfect for what it should be, but Yeah,
there's always going to be struggles and shit to deal with. Shit comes up every day that you got to deal with, and it's not always easy. It's not all puppy dogs and ice cream. It's a struggle.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work, just like running a business, and it all takes a lot of work.
Yeah, best investment of my life, but it takes a lot of work.
For sure. How would you define success? What does that word mean to you?
If you'd asked me that when I was like in my 20s, it was like money, fame. It was all the things that really actually don't bring success. I don't think always. So now in this part of my life, success for me is happy, healthy family, financially stable, fulfilling dreams. That's success for me.
Love it. How would you describe yourself in one word?
Bold.
I love it. If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
You are good enough.
I love that. That's awesome. I think so often younger kids, younger adults in their 20s, teen, they don't realize that. And that's, again, I think that goes back to what we were talking about earlier, is instilling these values in our children from a young age so that they grow up knowing that they're good enough.
Absolutely, because the choices that you make revolve around feeling you are good enough.
100%.
Yeah.
And lastly, if you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, what would that last 30 seconds sound like?
Oh my gosh, that's a big one.
It doesn't have to be exactly 30 seconds, of course.
Okay. But. Oh, it's been great. It's been fun. It's been challenging. It's been terrifying. It's been amazing. I wouldn't change a thing. I had a great life.
Awesome.
I did my best.
There you go. That's all we can do, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Vanessa, so much for being a guest. I appreciate you being here. It's been great chatting with you and having you share your insights and a bit of your journey and your path in life. It's been wonderful chatting with you, and thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been really lovely chatting with you, Brad.
Once again, my name is Brad Walsh, host of your Empowerography Podcast. My guest today has been Vanessa Rempel. She is the host and founder of Her Stories Co. Thanks again, Vanessa. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day.
Thank you.